The following is an exclusive sports presentation of the RVA Sports Network. Very pleasant good afternoon and a sudden stop to our opening theme. Hi, friends. Rob Witham here, live at Prince George High School as we get set for not just top 10 softball, but a 1 versus 2 showdown based on the brand new RVA Sports Network top 10 softball poll released earlier this morning with Lee Davis jumping Cosby from 3-2. It is number 2 Lee Davis and number 1 Prince George. Combined, they're 13-0, 4-0 for Lee Davis, 9-0 for these Royals, who we saw a few weeks ago opening up play at Atlee, and a 3-0 win for them there against the 3-time defending champions. And now they go for 10 in a row and another win against a huge Region 5B rival. It'll be Lee Davis doing business first offensively here in the top of the first. We'll get you caught up on lineups defensively and offensively as we begin our broadcast this afternoon. Laura Thompson in the circle for the Royals. She's set for the first pitch of the afternoon, and it's going to be low and inside to shortstop Lauren Taylor for ball 1, and we are underway. It's a cloudy, windy, and even though the temperature currently reads 61 degrees, it feels nowhere near 61 out here in beautiful Prince George County, Virginia. 1-0 pitch, misses high. Count is 2-0. Prince George coming off an exciting win, 11-6 over Cosby last Friday afternoon. Cosby slipping just one spot from 2 to 3 in our new top 10 poll release this morning at RVASportsNetwork.com. Thompson digs in and gets set for the 2-0 pitch to Taylor. And here it comes. It's low and quickly 3-0 on the opening batter of the afternoon. Meanwhile, Lee Davis in another thriller against Patrick Henry, which seems to always be the case when those two get together. Katie Bareford with the walk-off single to win it 4-3 last Friday night at home. 3-0 pitch will miss inside and low, and it's a leadoff walk, top 1 for Lauren Taylor for Lee Davis, and she is always a threat to steal. And that's going to bring up the third baseman, Haley Wagner, who did not play in Wednesday's 14-2 win over Mills Godwin on our last game of the week broadcast, but got back into action in that 4-3 win over Patrick Henry on Friday. Taylor, the runner at first, on the leadoff walk. Thompson set. Fires, bunt coming, straight to Thompson. She'll go to first. And Wagner is retired. Taylor advances to second on the sacrifice bunt. 1 away. Runner at second for Lee Davis. As Sydney Guess comes to the plate. Guess commit to Coastal Carolina. Senior left-handed hitter, right fielder. And certainly the start of the heart of the power of the Lee Davis lineup. Thompson ready, the right-hander deals, and misses outside for ball 1. Alyssa Swords behind the plate, quickly up, just to check on Taylor out at second base. As well as Thompson and Savannah Henley, today's starter for Lee Davis, have been pitching so far in this young season. Runs could be at a premium here this afternoon. 1-0 pitch, popped up. Down the third base line. Not sure if it's going to stay in play or not, and it will be just out of play. And the count will be even at 1-1 strike. It's the dugouts here, if you've never been to the Prince George field, a little bit recessed. So there's a little more open foul ground on both sides. 210 down the lines and straight away to center field. A field that reminds you a lot in terms of length of Lee Davis. 1-1 Swing and a miss. Thompson ahead in the count now 1-2 with one out, and Lauren Taylor at second. She had a leadoff walk. If you're just joining us here at minute after 5 on this Monday afternoon, and sacrificed to second on the bunt from Haley Wagner. Guess is ready down on the count 1-2. Thompson is ready and delivers. Foul out of play behind the third base dugout. That's the visitors' dugout here in Prince George. And we'll go again at 1-2 with Logan Hawker on deck. And barring a double play, she'll see the batter's box momentarily. Guess is ready. And another 1-2 coming. That one hopped across the plate. 2-2 now. Thompson with Guess. Thompson gets the sign, checks the wristband, and she's ready for the 2-2 pitch to Sydney Guess. Fly ball, left field, going back, now settling under it, making the catch for the second out of the inning. Taylor will advance to third, sliding in safely on the fly out from Guess to the left fielder, Jamie Fields. So 2 out, runner at third. And that brings up the catcher and the cleanup hitter for Lee Davis and Logan Hawker. Appeal to see if Taylor left second prematurely, and the answer was no. 3 umpires working this game. You know it's a big game when there's 3 umpires in the field. Hawker is ready. Hawker has a history against these Royals we'll talk about. And I'm sure Thompson remembers it very well. The senior getting set to toe the rubber and get ready with Taylor at third. First pitch now coming to Hawker. High and away, ball 1. Hawker had a towering home run into the sun and just over the foul pole at Deep Run High School 2 years ago this May, when these two teams were playing for a bid in the 5A state tournament in the old 5A South Regional Semifinal, a classic softball game won by Lee Davis. Thompson's ready, the 1-0. That's in there for strike 1. Nice pitch, plenty of confidence there. Thompson evens it up at 1 ball and 1 strike. Now known as Class 5. And these are 2 of the 15 teams in Region B. No more conference tournaments. We go straight to region action beginning May 21st. And that we know the top 8 teams out of the 15 in spring sports, baseball, softball, soccer, will advance to that Region 5B tournament. Each region does it differently. 1-1 pitch. Sets up outside and gets that corner. And Thompson's ahead of the count, 1-2 with 2 out. Taylor at third, no score. Lee Davis trying to scratch first here this afternoon. Wind picks up every once in a while, and sometimes it does with authority. And it's been swinging several directions since we arrived here about an hour ago. Currently trying to move right to left field. The 1-2. Grounder to third. Going to get past the third baseman. And Taylor comes in with the RBI single. Hawker into first. And Lee Davis takes the early 1-0 lead here in the top of the first inning. Good attempt by Godfrey at third base. It was just a shot down the line, and she just could not get the reflexes down in time. We'll get a courtesy runner for Hawker, the catcher. Sierra Talley will do the honors there. And Jesse Gentry, the batter. Jesse had a huge night against Mills Godwin on the game of the week last Wednesday with a pair of solo home runs. So you've got Talley, the courtesy runner at first with 2 out. And the first pitch to Gentry. Swing and a miss for strike 1. Her younger sister, Sydney, playing in that game last week, had the big 3-run bases clearing double in that 9-run inning. that wrapped things up and broke it open against number 9 Mills Godwin. They ended up winning 14-2 on a grand slam walk-off from McKenna Melbrick. Thompson ready, the 0-1. Foul back behind us and out of play, and Gentry quickly down to the count 0-2, and Thompson trying to limit Lee Davis to just the 1 run here in the top of the first inning. Next pitch fouled, and it'll come down just in front of the Lee Davis dugout. Good hustle by Godfrey and Swords to try to get to it, but just not enough height in the air for that ball to stay up long enough for them to get underneath it. Count still 0-2 on Gentry. Tally at first. Courtesy running for Hawker, who had the RBI single to score Taylor from third. 0-2 pitch coming from Thompson now. One hopper gets behind Swords, and Tally will advance to second base on the wild pitch. So the count will be 1 ball and 2 strikes. Tally will advance to second. And Gentry still alive should the inning roll on. Katie Bareford, the hero in Friday night's win over Patrick Henry, is on deck. Lee Davis 1, Prince George nothing. The battle of 1 versus 2 here this afternoon live on the RVA Sports Network. Thompson ready. The 1-2. High. 2 balls and 2 strikes. They'll kick it back to second, and Tally will be back in time. Swords does a nice job, very aggressive coming off of the plate as soon as she catches that softball. Constantly looking to see if she's able to do some damage to those on the base paths. 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, and Gentry chases the outside pitch, and it was perfectly placed by Thompson. And we'll have a runner left on first, but we will have 1 across here in the top of the first inning. 1 run, the big hit from Hawker, scoring Taylor, middle of first on the game of the week. Our score, number 2, Lee Davis, 1, and number 1, Prince George coming to back. Bat in just a moment here, live on the game of the week on the RVA Sports Network.
Sheehy Ford of Ashland, with the largest inventory of Fords in the Mid-Atlantic, says fall head-over deals. Up to 40% off MSRP or 0% financing for up to 72 months. Sheehy is proud to present its Military Appreciation Program with savings and additional discounts for active duty, military reserve, retired military, dependent families, and now law enforcement. It's easy at Sheehy. Sheehy Ford of Ashland, Route 1 just south of Ashland. Online at SheehyFordAshland.com.
Masterwood & West Incorporated has been serving the Richmond and surrounding areas since 1923, offering the finest in home heating oil and propane gas. They also offer professional service and installation of standby generators, tankless water heaters, gas logs, and gas or oil furnaces. Call them today for all of your heating needs at 355-1721. That's 355-1721. Massey Wood & West.
We'll set up the defensive lineup for Lee Davis for you quickly. Haley Wagner around the infield is at third base this afternoon. Lauren Taylor, her usual shortstop position. Carly Harding at second. Jessie Gentry is at first. In the outfield, Madison McLaughlin in left. McKenna Melbrick in center. Sydney Guess in right field. And your starting pitcher today, the left-handed sophomore, Savannah Henley. And Lee Davis again coming in with a record of 4-0. Prince George at 9-0 on the season, already with wins over Adley, over Cosby this past Friday. Now trying to hold serve and stay where they've been all year. They were our preseason number 1 team, and they've been number 1 on our top 10 poll ever since. It'll be Thompson, and Swords here in the bottom of the first inning. Laura Thompson, the pitcher, and the leadoff hitter, the left-handed hitter, for number 1, Prince George. Gentry will come up at first. Wagner does the same at third base. Henley gets the mask on, and the lefty gets set to deal to the lefty. Pitcher versus pitcher. Bottom 1 about to get underway with Lee Davis up 1-0. First pitch high for ball 1. Henley had a good night against Mills Godwin on Wednesday night. Patrick Henry got to her late to tie the game 3-3 top 7, but Lee Davis again with the Bearford walk-off winning. Another classic battle between those two old-time rivals, 4-3. Next pitch high, got away from Savannah, and she's down to the count 2-0. Riseball getting away from her a little bit here early on. Two balls, no strikes. To the leadoff hitter, Laura Thompson. Next pitch also a bit high, and Henley now at 3-0. Lauren Taylor scored after being walked to lead off the top of the first. Thompson says, I'll take the walk to lead off the bottom. Whatever I need to do to get on base. Henley delivers the 3-0. That's a strike. And it'll be 3 balls and 1 strike to Laura Thompson. Crowd continuing to file in here at Prince George this afternoon with our 5 p.m. start. Cloudy skies, breezy conditions. Henley, pitch. Got it at the knees for strike 2. And now we're full 3-2 to the leadoff hitter, Lauren Thompson. Laura looks back. Has a quick message with her sister, Sarah, who is on deck. Henley takes a moment, steps off the rubber, and now gets the word from Hawker. Steps off again. Trying to get a little traction on the rubber, which is not the easiest thing to do. All the fields in the area took a beating with the rain last night. 3-2, low for ball 4. And Thompson will get the leadoff walk, just like Taylor did, top of 1. And we'll see if Sarah Thompson gets the bunt sign here. 1 on, nobody out, bottom 1, and the Royals working from a 1-0 deficit. And that's something they've almost not experienced this year, is batting from behind. Now, the Cosby game Friday was back and forth for a bit. First pitch, no sign of a bunt, and it's low for ball 1. Swords, the catcher, on deck. Sarah back into the batter's box. Savannah ready, and the 1-0 pitch coming. That's right at the waist and across for strike 1. 1-1, the count on Sarah Thompson, the shortstop. Again, no sign of a bunt. Now she's showing it. Pulls back, pokes it, foul, just off the roof of the Prince George dugout down the first base line, and the count is 1-2. So the bunt option may be eliminated at this point. Let's see if they pull the trigger. No courtesy runner for the pitcher here. Laura runs for herself. Let's see what they pull up here with the 1-2 coming. Henley ready, fires. They do show bunt, and it'll die right there in the dirt. Quick throw, Hawker to first. Harding covering from second, retiring Sarah, but Laura will get over to second base. Beautiful bunt, and today you're going to get very little traction. That ball in this muddy infield is going to die quickly, and that one it went maybe a foot off the ground, came down and sat. Hawker with a great job to get the play at first. First pitch to Swords is outside for ball 1, with Laura Thompson now at second. Mirror image of the top of the first so far. Walk, sack, bunt, runner at second. Let's see if it continues. 1-0 to Swords. Tapper down the first base line. It stays fair. Do we get the tag out? Yes, we do. Gentry's able to tag the runner going down the first base line, but it gives Thompson time to go to third. That ball looked destined to go into foul territory, and then it just took a left turn and hugged that line. And if Gentry hadn't charged, I believe Swords would have easily been past her come tag time, and it would have been first and third with 1 out. Instead, runner at third with 2 out for Caitlin Abernathy. First pitch is high and away for ball 1. I was talking to Caitlin's dad earlier this afternoon, setting up our broadcast. Of course, older sister Casey getting ready for a huge doubleheader with Randolph-Macon Wednesday down at Virginia Wesleyan. More on that coming up on our broadcast. Next pitch, high for ball 2, throw down to third, and Thompson is back safely, and she'll need plenty of tide to get that Royals uniform clean after that dive back to third base. The count is 2-0 on Abernathy. Henley ready, fires. Strike one. Count now 2-1. And Abernathy trying to do what Hawker did in the 4-hole, and that's get a single and an RBI. 2-1 pitch. Ground ball towards second. Harding will chase. Flip underhanded to first. And Abernathy is retired, and the runner will be stranded at third. One in the books here this afternoon on the game of the week, and it's number 2, Lee Davis 1, number 1, Prince George 0. There were several other games scheduled on the docket on this Monday that are not going to happen, including Midlothian going to number 6, Atlee. That game has been postponed until next month. Also was supposed to have number 5, Powhatan going to number 7, Hanover in a big Region 4B battle this afternoon, but the Hanover softball field is notorious for not taking a lot of rain very well. And that game has been postponed to May the 18th, which is an interesting rescheduled date because that is the last day of the regular season. That's a Friday night. And so, Powhatan Hanover on Friday the 18th, could that be for a 1 or a 2 seed or a 3? The difference between being in one half of the bracket or the other when we get to the 4B tournament beginning the week of May 21st. Deep Run and Dinwiddie still scheduled to play this afternoon at Dinwiddie. And we are a go here, of course, on the game of the week. Mentioned Randolph-Macon, number 6 in the nation. They're going to Virginia Wesleyan to take on the undefeated defending national champions, ranked number 1 in the country in Division III, and they haven't lost yet this year. If memory serves me correctly, Virginia Wesleyan is 34-0, and Randolph-Macon is 30-2. And we're going to be bringing you live coverage of those two games from Norfolk on Wednesday. More details here on our broadcast this afternoon. Top of the second now, and Bareford will lead things off, and Thompson gets back to work in the circle. First pitch, right up the middle for strike one. While we have a second, set you up defensively for Prince George. In the infield, Godfrey at third. It'll be Sarah Thompson there at short. Brooke Loving at second. Next pitch, high. We're even at 1-1 to Bareford. Kylan Ace is at first. In the outfield, Jamie Fields in left. Abernathy's in center, and Aaron Miles in right this afternoon. Madison Quisenberry is your designated player. She'll be batting ninth. Swords behind the plate. Thompson in the circle. The next pitch is low, and we're to 2-1 to Bareford. Here, first batter, top of the second inning, 1-0. Lee Davis with the early lead. When calm for a brief moment here, Thompson gets set to deliver the 2-1 pitch. Swing and a miss, and it's 2-2 now to Bareford. Scheduled here in the top of the second inning, Bareford, Harding, and McKenna Melbrook for Lee Davis. Thompson at the rubber ready. And now the 2-2. Got 3. Yes, sir. Strike 3 called indeed. A beautiful pitch right at the waist. And there's one down here in the second inning. So the second baseman, Carly Harding, steps into the batter's box with one out and nobody gone here to top 2. Thompson's had plenty of big game experience for these Prince George Royals. First pitch is low for ball 1. I suspect one thing she's really looking for is that huge signature win. Of course, those, in terms of what I believe she's probably seeking there in the Hill, not for her personally, but for the team, is something that they will seek to get late May, early June. 1-0 pitch. Misses low. 2-0. No one on this field was on the roster The last time Prince George made the state tournament, which was 4 years ago, 2014. In the old 5-day state format. And the first year of the conference experiment. The 2-0 at the knees for strike one. 2 balls and 1 strike now to Carly Harding. Prince George would love to make a return to state tournament play. And of course, the Class 5 state tournaments this year, they're here in Central Virginia. After a long stint up in Northern Virginia. 2-1 pitch in there for strike 2. Thompson's even now with Harding at 2-2 with 1 out, nobody on, stops 2. Deep Run and Glen Allen High Schools will split state championship duties with Class 5 and Class 6. The Jubilee, Friday, June 8th, semifinals Friday that day, and championships on Saturday, June 9th. Wind picks up right to left. Here comes the 2-2 pitch from Thompson. Swing and a miss and make it 2 straight Ks. For Lawrence Thompson, as Harding is retired with 2 down now and nobody on. It'll bring up McKenna Melbrick. Melbrick showed some power with the bases loaded. In the bottom of the 6th on Wednesday night, she ended our game of the week broadcasted inning early with a grand slam home run into right center field. As Lee Davis broke open a tight game to win over number 9 Mills Godwin 14-2. First pitch misses inside for ball 1. Ironically enough, Mills Godwin took their frustrations out on their rival Deep Run Friday night, winning by that exact same score of 14-2. Melbrick steps in, and Thompson kicks and fires the 1-0 pitch. That one's inside corner for strike 1. 1 ball, 1 strike, the count to Melbrick. Left fielder Madison McLaughlin is on deck. Should the inning continue for Lee Davis. 2 out, nobody on. A pair of strikeouts in the 2nd inning for Laura Thompson. And now the 1-1. Off speed, got it. Outside corner, 1-2. That was a beautiful pitch by Laura Thompson. Laura gets the call, goes the rubber. And now the 1-2. Ground ball toward second. Handled cleanly by Loving. Throw over to first. And the side is retired. No runs, no hits, nobody left on, no errors for Prince George and a pair of Ks for Lawrence Thompson. We go. Bottom of the 2nd. Here at Prince George High School, it'll be Loving, Mace, Godfrey, 2 up for the Royals. Trailing just by 1 at 1-0. As fast as we have final details on our live broadcast Wednesday in Norfolk of number 6 Randolph Macon and number 1 Virginia Wesleyan. We'll keep you posted across our Twitter network on the RVA Sports Net at Hanover Sports, obviously. And on both our websites at RVASportsNetwork.com and HanoverCountySports.net. Next high school game of the week is currently scheduled for a week from Friday night. We're back at Lee Davis when these Confederates will welcome in our rival Atlee. Another round of their storied rivalry, round 1, a week and a half, no, actually 2.5 weeks ago. Just before spring break, went to Lee Davis in an 8-inning thriller at Atlee, 2-0. The rematch is April 27th. We'll have it live at 7 Eastern, here exclusively on our YouTube channel. The best way to remember the game of the week is subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/RVA Sports Network. We don't spam you. We don't send you a bunch of junk. We only send you emails when A, we post a new video, or B, we go live with another Game of the Week broadcast. So subscribe today. Just click the subscribe button. That's all you got to do. One click will do it. At youtube.com/RVA Sports Network. That's youtube.com/RVA Sports Network. Brooke Loving, second baseman. Just got the assist on that put out a moment ago, and we'll get into the batter's box here to start the bottom of the 2nd inning. Henley working her 2nd inning. And Prince George down 1-0. First pitch. High for ball 1. Now a little more sustainable. The American flag in left field. Stiffly breezing from right to left. Now the 1-0 pitch. At the knees for strike 1. Henley even 1-1 to Brooke Loving. Kylan Ace is on deck. Loving a right-handed hitter. Working against the left-handed sophomore Savannah Henley for Lee Davis. 1-1. Swing and a miss, and Henley ahead of the count 1-2. One run, one hit, no errors, Lee Davis. No runs, no hits, no errors for Prince George. 1-2. High and outside, 2-2 to Loving. Overcast and breezy. The weather today, 2-2 pitch, low, we'll go full at 3-2. A far cry from the sunshine and warmth we experienced across the area at games on Friday night. Had a lot of wind Friday night, in fact, more Friday than we have today. And last Thursday was crazy, too. 3-2 pitch, line just over Harding into right center field for a leadoff single for Brooke Loving. So Loving gets the first hit of the afternoon for number 1, Prince George. They have a runner at first with nobody out for the second inning in a row. And it'll bring up the first baseman, Kyla Nates. Kyla, left-handed hitter. In that front of the batter's box. We'll see if they use her for sacrifice purposes to try to get the runner over to second. First pitch. Right down the pipe for strike one, and no sign of a bunt from Kyla. Kelly Godfrey, the third baseman, on deck. It's now Prince George has their first hit of the day and trying to get their first run. Henley ready, now showing the bunt. Gets a low pitch down on the ground. High throw, but it's Harding able to reach high and get it, covering at first. So the sacrifice works to perfection and almost yields a bunt single. But again, Hogger with great play defensively at catcher. But the most important thing for Prince George, Loving advances to second. And with one out and a runner in scoring position, it brings up the third baseman, Kelly Godfrey. We did this up 1-0, one out, runner at second here in the bottom of the second inning. First pitch, high for ball one. Just playing normally at right. Now break a little bit in center field. Godfrey gets a hold of it. She could run a while. That one fell back here to the screen. And the count's even at 1-1 strike. The left field line is also open. And it's the left fielder for Lee Davis. A little bit towards center. Worrying a little more about a gapper than she gets one down the third base line. So Wagner better be ready at third. Next pitch, outside corner for strike two. 1-2. Now the count on Godfrey. With Brooke Loving, the runner at second after the single and the sacrifice bunt, moves her over. Henley looking for out number 2. And now the 1-2 pitch. This is just outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Tucker tried to place it to her advantage. And the umpire said no. 2-2 the count. Two delivery. One hopper blocked by Hawker. So Loving has to get back to second. And we go full 3-2. It is, as you would expect, after all the rain we had last night and overnight, a muddy terrain here in the infield at Prince George today. Occasionally, the ball's a little tough to grip. We've seen one hopper from both pitchers. 3-2 pitch. Line foul and out of play. Back behind the Prince George dugout. We'll try it again at 3-2. Three balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Loving at second. Royals trying to tie it up. Down 1-0. The pitch. Swing just fouled it back to Hawker's feet. Royals stay again at 3-2. Good at bat for Godfrey. Works the count full. Fouls a couple of them off. Trying to get the runner advanced. Single could be a run in a tie ball game. Looking Henley deep in the count, making her pitch more and more. Here comes another 3-2. Foul back again behind us and out of play, and we'll do it again with a full count. Lee Davis 1, Prince George nothing. If you're just joining us, heading home on this Monday afternoon, full count here with 1 out, bottom 2, and the Royals with a runner at second. Godfrey ready, Henley ready, 3-2 again. Foul out of play, back behind first base. And Haley Godfrey will not die here. At this point, even if she doesn't get on base in the second half of the inning, this is a successful at bat because you're making Savannah Henley work and work hard in the early innings, which could pay off in the later. Another 3-2 pitch. Ground ball right back to Henley. Works over at second. Loving has to stay. Quick throw to first. Second out of the inning. But again, you got to give credit to Haley Godfrey there for extending that at bat as long as she did. I believe there were 4 3-2 pitches before that ground out back to the pitcher, Henley. And there's still a runner in scoring position, but it is now 2 out. And it's Aaron Miles, the right fielder, with a chance to get the base hit, possibly bring in the tying run. Royals left runner at third of the first inning, trying not to strand a second runner in scoring position here. First pitch from Henley, outside for ball 1 to Aaron Miles. Madison Quisenberry, today's designated player, and left-handed hitter is on deck. Miles, your right fielder, bats right-handed. Aaron's ready. Henley delivers the 1-0. That's low. 2-0 the count. Mentioned how Hanover rained out. Midlothian and Atlee rained out. Both games rescheduled for next month, late in the season, final week of the season, in fact. 2-0 pitch. That's going to miss low. 3-0 the count. Henley showing a bit of frustration. Ready for the 3-0 pitch. Miles in there. We'll see if she's taken all the way. She does, and it hits the outside corner for strike 1. 3 balls, 1 strike to Aaron Miles, the right fielder. With Brooke Loving, the second baseman, the runner at second. And 2 out here, bottom 2. Royals trying to tie it up. And they're ready, the 3-1. That's across for strike 2. Now Miles got to get swinging. With the count full at 3-2. 2 out, bottom 2. Good action so far here this afternoon on the game of the week, just as we expected. We get number 1 and number 2 together. The full count delivery. All 4. Missed it just low. And the runners now are at first and second with 2 out. So Maddie Quisenberry has an opportunity here. A big one at that. It extends the inning, could tie the game. Gapper could make it the 2-1 lead. And on top of that, you get aboard, and the top of the order gets back up and running. Laura Thompson is on deck. Big early moment in this one. Henley is ready. And the first pitch. High with the off speed for ball 1. Henley not getting ahead in many counts so far here this afternoon. And Logan Hawker sees a bit of frustration with Savannah. Comes out immediately to talk to her. In this situation, got to calm her down. Gets a smile on her face, and that's always a good thing. The next game of the week broadcast schedule. These Davis Confederates hosting Atlee, number 6 versus number 2, a week from Friday, April 27th. 7 Eastern on our YouTube channel. Complete broadcast schedule always available on the right-hand side of the page at RVA Sports Network.com. 1-0 pitch. That's right down the middle for strike 1. Evens it up, 1-1 to count Quisenberry. Miles at first, Loving at second, and 2 out here in the second. Next pitch, check swing called strike 2. Walker gets Henley kind of defrag and reset. Instead of being 1-0 and frustrated, she's now ahead of the count 1-2, trying to get out of this jam and keep it 1-0 Lee Davis lead. The 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. She said, Joe, umpire said just had foul. Went in and out of Hawker's glove, and she held on to it. It would have been the end of the inning. So just staying alive is Maddie Quisenberry. Number 9 hitter in the order. Again, Thompson on deck, should the inning roll on. Big opportunity here for the Royals early. The pitch. Swing and a miss off speed. Gets Quisenberry for strike 3, and the Royals will strand the pair. We'll go to the third. Number 2, Lee Davis, 1. Number 1, Prince George, nothing. Game of the week continues here in just a moment. Live exclusively on the RVA Sports Network.
GE Ford Ashland, the largest inventory of Fords in the Mid-Atlantic, says all head over deals. Up to 40% off MSRP or 0% financing for military reserve, retired military, families, and now law enforcement. It's easy at GE. Online at GE Ford Ashland.
Offering special service and installation of standby generators, tankless water heaters, gas plugs, and gas oil.
Back live at beautiful Prince George High School, Prince George County, Virginia. It's cloudy, it's overcast, it's chilly, it's windy. The temperature doesn't really tell you the story, but it's fine enough for softball. As we start the third inning, as Thompson delivers one to the knees for strike 1 to Madison McLaughlin. Nine 1-2 hitters here in the third, scheduled for Lee Davis. Lauren Taylor on deck. She walked and scored the only run of the afternoon back in the first inning. McLaughlin, the 0-1, swing and a miss. 1-0, tapped it back to the screen. 0-2. Thompson got a pair of strikeouts in the first. Henley doesn't have any strikeouts yet in the afternoon until that Quisenberry one to strand the runners at first and second. So 2 for the senior, 1 for the sophomore. McLaughlin ready. Thompson ready. The 0-2. It's a bit low. 1 ball and 2 strikes. McLaughlin, Taylor, Wagner. In this top of the third inning. McLaughlin takes her time, now gets into the box. Madison's ready, so is Laura. Here comes the 1-2. It's low, hits the plate, 2-2 the count. And again, grip is an issue for both of these pitchers here this afternoon, thanks to the condition of the infield, gripping the rubber, trying to hang on to the softball that gets grimy and dirty. Next pitch, line down the first baseline, just foul. Nays put that glove up and almost had it. And then it landed a couple of feet. Advantage Prince George to the foul side. And counted 2-2 to McLaughlin, who had a pretty good night against the Mills Godwin on our game of the week last Wednesday night. And a few plate appearances. Thompson ready. The 2-2. High, and she chases it for strike 3. Would have been a full count. But instead, going after the high heat, McLaughlin retired on the third strikeout of the afternoon for Laura Thompson. Lauren Taylor, the shortstop, in the top of the order, up now with 1 out and nobody on. Here in the top of the third inning. Each team with the hit. No one has committed an error yet this afternoon. It's a good defensive plays already. Taylor, the only one to score so far. First pitch low, ball 1. Taylor led off the game with a walk. Advanced second on the sacrifice. moved over to third base on a fly out, and then headed home on a single. RBI single from Logan Hawker. 1-0 pitch. High. 2 balls and no strikes. Our buddy Bob Lanham out at a big girls soccer match this afternoon. Number 1 Douglas Freeman against Collegiate. They are scoreless at the break. They should be in the second half now. Next pitch low. 3-0, and Alyssa Sword says, time, I'd like to go talk to Laura, if I could. So she'll do that. Taylor will jog over to lead assistant coach Jackie Davis. Talk a few things over. Doesn't get any easier for Lee Davis on the schedule department. It's coming up Friday night, they've got a trip to take on number 7 Hanover. Every Friday, it's a big county rivalry night in Hanover. 3-0 pitches down the middle, and Taylor took the whole time, and it's 3 balls and 1 strike. So Lee Davis at Hanover Friday night, Atlee at Patrick Henry on Friday night for baseball, softball, and boys soccer. 3-1 pitch now coming from Thompson to Taylor. It's low, ball 4. Second walk today issued to Taylor. So she's aboard this time with 1 out. And the third baseman, Haley Wagner, will come to the plate. Haley had the sacrifice bunt back to Thompson, which advanced Taylor to second, back to the first. Started moving her around, eventually home with a Hawker RBI single. First pitch swing and a miss for Haley Wagner for strike 1. No sign of a bunt there. Wagner steps back in. He's got a little runner at first. Thompson is ready. And the 0-1. At the knees for strike 2. Beautiful pitch there. And suddenly Wagner down the count 0-2 with an out here in the top of the third. A methodical game. Neither Thompson or Henley are working at a fast pace. They gladly will take their time. And some of the batters gladly happy to stay out of the box a while too. Next pitch fouled back out of play, and we're still at 0-2 to Wagner. As we began the game, about 5 minutes of 5, and we're coming up on 5:45, so about 50 minutes of game action, and we are in the top of the third inning. So Thompson shakes off 1, and Wagner calls time. And now Laura's ready. Haley back to the plate. Here we go. 0-2 pitch again. Fouled again. Right behind us out of play. 0-2. So Wagner staying alive with Sydney Guess on deck. 1 out. Taylor at first thanks to the 1 out walk. 1-0 Lee Davis. Thompson again, the 0-2. That one's low. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Taylor does not think about going over to second. As Swords does a nice job defensively. Getting the low pitch. 1 ball, 2 strikes now. See if Thompson tries to get her to chase something like she got McLaughlin a moment ago. 1-2. That's high. Wagner wasn't fooled. We're even at 2-2. Two balls, 2 strikes. 1 out, top 3. Lee Davis with a runner at first and a 1-0 lead. Wagner in. Thompson to the rubber. And now the 2-2 pitch. Foul back hits the screen. We remain at 2-2. Sarah Thompson playing normally at second. Loving the same. It's short. Loving the same at second. first and third are aware of the fact that there still could be a bunt try, but probably think it's not going to happen. 2-2 pitch. Tapped foul, staying alive on the off-speed pitch back toward the Lee Davis dugout. 2-2 again coming. As we need to replenish the ball supply here at home. Laura's going to take advantage of that opportunity and get a fresh one. See if she can get some grip on it. With the count 2-2 and 1 out, and Taylor at first. Thompson is ready now, the 2-2 again. Swing and a miss, and Wagner goes down. Second strikeout of the inning, second out of the inning. Taylor stays at first. And it'll be up to Sydney Guess to keep this inning going. The right fielder and the third hitter in the batting order today for Lee Davis. Guess it's a threat to launch one deep at any time if you give her the right pitch. First pitch found back to the screen. 0-1 the count to Sydney Guess. Should the inning continue, Logan Hawker is on deck. Taylor still at first base. The recipient of the one-out walk, but she's gone no further so far. Thompson trying to make sure it stays that way. No balls, one strike. The pitch, that one high, 1-1. Taylor back to first, not thinking about going. A run and a hit for Lee Davis. No runs and a hit for Prince George. 1-1. High. 2-1. Going to second is Taylor. Throw from Swords. Got her. As Sarah Thompson moves in from short, and it wasn't even close. Swords with a great throw. Guess we'll go back to the plate to start the fourth. Nobody left on base for Lee Davis in the third. Middle of the third, Lee Davis 1, Prince George 0. So we'll get the top of the order for Prince George coming up here in the bottom of the third. Fans, hope to join us every Friday morning at 9:30 on ESPN Richmond for RVA Locals Only on the Black Andrew Sports Huddle. I'm Black Andrew Wallace. Get your work and get your work day going every weekday morning from 8 until 10, right after Golden and Wingo from 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. And every Friday at 9:30, we come into the studio and talk with coaches and players in high school and local sports here in the RVA. You can hear it live on 99.5 and 102.7 ESPN, 950 on the AM dial. Stream it in the office at ESPNRichmond.com, or if you don't have it, download the ESPN Richmond app and listen to ESPN Richmond at any time. 99.5 works north of the James River. 102.7 on the FM dial works south of the James and in the Tri-Cities, such as here in Prince George. And, of course, 950 AM, like it's the Metro Richmond area. Love being on with Bob Black, Andrew Wallace on ESPN Richmond. It is RVA Locals Only Friday mornings at 9:30, presented by Farm Bureau Insurance, exclusively on 99.5 and 102.7 ESPN in conjunction with the RVA Sports Network. Laura Thompson getting set to lead off the third inning. Rob with him along with you on this cloudy, at times breezy and a bit chilly Monday afternoon. Lee Davis 2 in our latest top 10 poll that was released this morning, late from yesterday evening due to the weather outbreak that we had. We focused our coverage on that late last night. So you can see the latest baseball and softball top 10 polls right now at RVASportsNetwork.com. Henley delivers. Foul down left field line, chasing but out of play for strike one. And the debut of our Super 7 boys and girls soccer, boys and girls lacrosse polls. They came out for the first time today and will be out each week for the next 5 weeks. And they too are also right now at RVA Sports Network.com. Count 0-1 to Laura Thompson, pitcher, leadoff hitter, senior leader for these Prince George Royals. Henley ready. Lefty against lefty. And the 0-1 pitch. Showing bunt, tracks it. Henley grabs it. Throw nowhere close. Thompson way too fast for that. And it's a leadoff bunt single for Laura Thompson here in the bottom of the third inning. Taking advantage of the field conditions. Again, you want that ball, and where it lands is pretty much where it dies. And Henley just did not have enough time to get out of the circle, get it, and fire it to first in time. First pitch to Sarah Thompson at the knees for strike one. So for the third inning in a row, Prince George gets the leadoff runner aboard. It's their second hit of the afternoon. Next pitch line into center field for a base hit. Quickly into the ball is a center fielder Melbrick on a one hopper. Got it back to Taylor, covering at second. But a bunt single and now a strong single up the middle, and it's first and second and nobody out for Alyssa Swords. Swords grounded out to first, which allowed Laura Thompson to advance to third back in the first inning. First and second, nobody out. Showing bunt, one hopper gets back to the screen, and Hawker has to retrieve, and the runners will go up to second and third on the wild pitch. And the Royals have something developing here in the bottom of the third inning, down 1-0. Next pitch, check swing, misses, and the count is 2 balls and no strikes. Strike throw back to third and Thompson back in safely. Thompson at third, Thompson at second, pitch one hopper, blocked by Hawker. 3 balls and 1 strike. A bunt single, a strong single up the middle, a wild pitch. And Swords can tilt the scoreboard with a base hit here. 3-1. At the knees, we are full at 3-2. Alyssa not sure she agrees with that call, but knows there's nothing she can do about it. And gets back out of the box to swing away once. Now into the box. We'll get set for the 3-ball. 2-strike pitch from Henley. Here it comes. Ground ball back to Henley. Holds the runner. Quick throw to first is in time. Gentry digs it out of the dirt. And it'll stay second and third, but now 1 out. And the cleanup hitter in the order, it's Caitlin Abernathy. Henley walking toward the plate to have a quick conversation with Hawker, the catcher. Abernathy, who has committed to go to Christopher Newport University, one of 3 Virginia softball teams currently in the top 10 nationally in Division III, along with number 1 Virginia Wesleyan and number 6 Randolph-Macon. Henley is ready. First pitch is down the pike for strike 1. 0-1 the count. Sarah Thompson at second, Laura Thompson at third. 1 out here, bottom third. 1-0 Lee Davis. Abernathy asks for time. Brooke Loving is on deck. She's 1 for 1 this afternoon. Henley trying to work out a jam here. 0-1. Tapper towards the pitcher. They'll throw it home, and she can't handle the ball. It is safe. Thompson, though, slid on the ball as she comes over the plate, and she goes down, and we're going to have a timeout here, as the coach is going to have to attend to Thompson. The ball came into Hawker, and it hit the ground, and the ball hit the plate at about the same time as Thompson slid in. and she kind of came in on it on her stomach. She's asking for water. Teammate's going to get her some, and I think she's going to be okay. It's just shaking her up and maybe knock the wind out of her for just a moment. And she came up with a pained look on her face, and rightfully so. Now she'll get back up with a smile and head back to the dugout to the applause of the home faithful. So ground ball to the pitcher. Error on the throw. And Laura Thompson scores to tie it at 1-1. Loving to the plate. Abernathy sped to second on the play. So runners in scoring position, again, 2 of them. And nowadays, for Brooke Leffing could be the lead for number 1. First pitch coming. Strike 1. And there had been some velocity and height on that throw to Hawker home at the last second. Would have had a very close play at the plate. Next pitch showing bunt. It goes foul back to the screen. Squeeze was on. Didn't work. Sarah Thompson will head back to third. And it's 0-2. Still up with the score tied at 1. 1 out here, bottom 3. Prince George trying to get a big inning here. The pitch. Line down the left field line. Foul. Just foul. Oh, that was so close. Prince George coach not happy about the call. Both of them calling foul, and they were right. We are right at the third base line, the left field line. We can see it. And it tailed just barely. We're talking inches. Foul. So close for Loving there. And it's still 0-2. That shakes up Henley a little bit. And now the 0-2 pitch. Off speed, got her swinging for strike 3. Good decision there to call the pitch to pull the string, and Loving goes down for the second out of the inning. That's a huge second out. Now Henley can just worry about the batter. Kylan Hayes. You retire her, the inning is over. First pitch, tap foul. And back toward the screen, the count 0-1. And that's working with 1 out versus 2 outs is supremely important. Because now your entire focus is trying to get a hitter and making sure that all your pitches are ones that Hawker can get to. You don't want a wild pitch in this situation either. The 0-1. Tap down the play. Found and 0-2 just like that to the first baseman Nays. But if Kylan gets a hold of one, can get one to the outfield in the capper, or even a single, we're looking at probably a 3-1 game. Abernathy second, Thompson at third. The pitch. Foul back to the Lee Davis dugout, and we remain at 0-2. Lee Davis 1, Prince George 1, Royals with 2 in scoring position. But Nays facing an 0-2 count here with 2 out, bottom third. The 1-1 pitch. It's the tapper down the first base line. Henry, quick throw. Gentry's off the bag. Throw to Hawker is too high, and both runs will score, and Nace will head to second. And the Royals take a 3-1 lead. That would have been a bang-bang play at first. Nays may have beaten the throw. I believe what you're going to be looking there is another error. So the second of the inning. It threw Gentry off the bag right as Nays arrived. It would have been a doggone close play, but then another error. That time on Gentry's throw home to Hawker too high. And both runs score. 3-1. Prince George. Nays at second. Timeout, Coach Jackie Davis goes out to talk with her infield. Haley Godfrey, the third baseman. Is coming to the plate. Godfrey ready? Henley ready? First pitch. Liner right up the middle. It's a base hit. Coming around his days. They'll throw it to the cutoff man. And Kyla slides in safely. And it's a 4-run inning. 4-1, Prince George. Miles will come to the plate now with 2 down, and Godfrey, the runner at first. 8th hitter this inning for Prince George, and 4 runs in. First pitch foul back to the screen. The count's 0-1. Pitch off speed. Strike 2 called. Henley misses outside. 1 ball and 2 strikes, trying to get out of the inning. And a big one it's been for number 1 Prince George. One-two pitch. A little looper toward Henley. She's able to get it, grab it, throw it to Gentry, and Miles is retired. As again, the ball spinning awkwardly off the bat, hits the dirt and dies. And Henley has to run, grab it, and make the quick throw for the 3rd out of the inning. But Prince George strikes with authority. It is a 4-run 3rd for number 1 Prince George. And after 3 complete this afternoon, it is number 1 Prince George 4 and number 2 Lee Davis 1. Back in a moment live on the RVA Sports Network.
GE Ford National, with the largest inventory of Fords in the Mid-Atlantic, says all head over deals up to 40% off MSRP or 0% financing. GE Military Appreciation Program. Discounts, military reserve, retired military, dependent families, and now law enforcement. It's easy at GE Ford National. Right just south of National. Online at GE Ford National.
Incorporated has been serving Richmond and surrounding areas since 1923, offering the finest home heating oil and propane gas. They also offer professional service and installation of standby generators, tankless water heaters, gas logs, and gas oil furnaces. Call today for all your heating needs at 355-1721. That's 355-1721.
Let's go to the 4th inning, shall we, fans? Rob with them along with you live here on the game of the week. 9-0 Prince George, number 1 all season in our RVA Sports Network top 10 softball poll. Scores 4 in the 3rd to take a 4-1 lead. Lee Davis here, top of the 4, will get the heart of the order up here. The 3, 4, 5 hitters, guess will start. She was at the bat when Lauren Taylor was thrown out trying to steal second in the top of the 3rd inning. And so she's back at the plate now. Thompson ready to work. And the first pitch. Fouled out of play. And counts 0-1. Hopewell on the docket for Prince George tomorrow here at 5. On Thursday, they take a trip to Colonial Heights. That is the rest of the week for number 1 Prince George, looking to go 10-0 on the season here this afternoon. Next pitch also fouled out of play, and the count 0-2. The rest of their regular season schedule after today is favorable. Their biggest, arguably, game left in the regular season schedule will be a trip to Dinwiddie on May 1st. They shut out Dinwiddie here at home 5-0. swing and a miss, and guess will get retired after the throw to first. Swords drops the ball, but she's able to get it in there in plenty of time. So Guess retired, 1 out. Here in the top of the 4th inning for Logan Hawker. Six strikeouts this afternoon now for Laura Thompson. And another burst of wind coming through here as we get set for the first pitch. And this is high for ball 1. So Prince George 9-0. 20-game schedule in the regular season for high school sports in softball. Lee Davis' schedule is a totally different story. We'll talk about that in a moment. Next pitch, this is high, 2-0 is the count. They only played 2 games before spring break due to weather. This is their 3rd game since spring break. They have 3 away games this week. 2-0 pitch. At the knees for strike 1, 2-1 to Hawker. Tomorrow they go to Henrico. Friday we mentioned they go to number 6 Hanover. Then next Monday, a week from today, they go to James River before they finally get a home game a week from Wednesday against J.R. Tucker. Next pitch at the knees for strike 2, 2-2 the count. Then they've got Atlee coming in at home, our game of the week on April 27th, live here on the RVA Sports Network, and they still have on their schedule overall 2 with Hanover, 1 with Atlee, 1 more with Patrick Henry, Cosby, Deep Run, Manchester. That one's low. We go full at 3-2. So there are a ton of big games and big opponents left on the lead eight of the schedule. Schedule at this point advantage, Prince George. The 3-2, low for ball 4, and Hawker will get aboard on a 1-out walk. 1 away, top 4, and 1 on for Jesse Gentry. Come up here on about 10 minutes after 6 on this Monday night. Sierra Talley will once again be the courtesy runner for Hawker. First pitch, line down the left field line, but foul. And the count will be 0-1. Thompson with a smile gets the ball as it comes back into the infield. 6 strikeouts this afternoon. Another worse for wear after that weird slide into home plate where the ball hit the plate at the same time she didn't. She kind of slid across it with her stomach. That pitch is strike. 0-2 quickly to count on Gentry. With Talley, the runner at first. Hawker got that 1-out walk. Talley, the courtesy runner. 4-1, Prince George, top 4. Next pitch, foul near us and out of play. And a fan successfully gets out of the way. And she is none the worse for wear, and we remain at no balls and 2 strikes. Next pitch, poke, foul, and that one will go just out of play on the other side of the Prince George dugout. Again, we mentioned earlier in the broadcast how both dugouts are recessed here, and there's extra room in foul territory in front of both of them down the first and third base lines. And that one would have been fouled out of play at just about every part. It was just barely out of play here, so there was an opportunity to try to get to it. Thompson's ready, still in 0-2. With 1 out, the runner at first. Another foul, and Gentry will extend this at bat. And now Jesse trying to do to Lawrence Thompson what was done to Savannah Henley back in the 2nd inning. On that great at bat by Haley Godfrey. What does Godfrey do her next step at? RBI single to make it 4-1. Again, the 0-2, and the off-speed gets her. Strike 3. Swing and a miss. 7th K of the day for Thompson. 2 out, 1 on. And it'll be Barefoot coming up with 2 away. And Lee Davis down by 3 here in the top of the 4th. First pitch, it's a pitch out. They'll throw it back to first, but Mays can't get to it on the ground, kind of below the throw of Swords, and Tally is back safely. 1 ball and no strikes. And again, a very methodical working job here by Laura Thompson, taking her time. 1-0 pitch is low, 2-0 now, the count. Henley works a little bit quicker than Laura, but not a whole lot. This is not like a James River Cosby baseball game where they play at 6 and the pitchers act like they have dinner reservations at 7:30. 2-0. Swing and a miss, and Barefoot. The count on her now at 2-1. Throw to first, but Tally back safely. 2 away, top of the 4th. Prince George with 4 in the 3rd to take a 4-1 lead here in this 1 versus 2 top 10 softball battle. The 2-1. Swing and a miss to make it 2-2 as Thompson. Her heat just too much for Barefoot to catch up to. And she works from 2-0 to 2-2 here with 2 down in the 4th. Thompson's ready. 2-2. Low. And we're full. With 2 down. And the tying run in the on-deck circle should the inning continue. Carly Harding, the second baseman, hoping to get an at-bat in this 4th inning. 4-1 the score. Full count coming. Thompson now ready. Katie ready. And the pitch. That's low for ball 4. So we haven't had a ball in play yet this half inning. 2 strikeouts, 2 walks, and Carly Harding's going to head up. With runners at first and second, 2 down. She represents the tying run. And we're going to get a conversation. Time for a moment to talk to Laura, as Coach heads out there for the Royals. I want to thank, by the way, Hezekiah Butler, Activities Director, coaching staff here at Prince George, and everyone for making us feel so welcome. Great hospitality here in beautiful Prince George County, where we spent 9 wonderful years, in case you didn't know, bivocational kind of guy. Of the career is ordained minister. We pastored a church down here in Prince George from 1996 to the end of 2005. I made lifelong friends in this beautiful county southeast of RVA. County that reminds me a lot of the one I grew up in, which was Hanover County. Suburban county, lots of country. Of course, Hanover's a lot different than it was back in the 70s when I was a kid. Mechanics still have not grown into what it is today, obviously. And there were only 2 high schools back in my day, Patrick Henry and Lee Davis. When they met, it really meant everything. Now conversation complete. Harding in the box. Thompson's ready for the first pitch. And that's at the knees for strike 1. Tally at second. Barefoot at first. Lee Davis down 4-1. 2 out here for top 4. Laura Thompson with 7 strikeouts this afternoon. Looking to get out of this unscathed. 0-1. This is outside, and Harding has the count even now at 1-1. Thompson, the 1-1 pitch. Popped it up. Catcher Swords says she has it and does in foul territory for the third out of the inning. So 2 left on base for Lee Davis here in the top of the fourth. We'll go bottom 4. And number 1, Prince George with the 4-1 advantage. So missed opportunity there for Lee Davis. In the midst of a crazy busy stretch of sporting action here in the RVA, with the Flying Squirrels having such a successful opening weekend, both on the field and at the gate. Great opening night on Friday night with Fred McGriff there and a sellout crowd. The Monument Avenue 10K, a huge success on a beautiful day on Saturday. And now NASCAR on its way to Richmond Raceway after wrapping up at Bristol earlier today. Kyle Busch getting the victory in the Monster Cup Energy race that was postponed due to the weather on Sunday. Our friends at ESPN Richmond Black and Drew Sports Center will be broadcasting live from Richmond Raceway. Coming up Thursday and Friday, I do believe. Definitely Friday, I know. And we'll, of course, keep you posted with NASCAR coverage throughout the week, and especially Saturday night on the RVA Sports Net on Twitter. Maddie Quisenberry, the number 9 hitter, designated player this afternoon for Prince George, ready to start this bottom of the 4th. First pitch from Henley is high away for ball 1. So Prince George finishes this game. They will be halfway through their regular season schedule. They have 10 games between tomorrow and May 18th. Lee Davis, when they finish, will have played 5 games. Next pitch outside corner for strike 1. We're even at 1 ball and 1 strike, which means Lee Davis will play 15 games between April the 17th and May the 18th. Off-speed misses low, 2-1. Quisenberry. So Lee Davis will play about once every 2 days on average, and Prince George once every 3. Quisenberry ready, the 2-1 high, 3 balls and 1 strike. Again, Lee Davis, Prince George, part of that 15 team Region 5B. Tournament will begin and be played the 21st of May. Next pitch low, a leadoff walk to Quisenberry. And again, Prince George gets the leadoff batter aboard. They've done it each inning this afternoon. And we go back to the top of the order and Laura Thompson. And the Royals want to work and get another big inning going here in the 4th. Quisenberry at first. Rocking those shades. And Thompson ready. Shows bunt. Gets a 1 hopper to Henley. Fires to first. Safe. Thompson speeds down the first baseline. Beats the throw on the bunt single. And it's going to be first and second. With nobody out. Thompson again using her speed to get the infield hit. And another big inning developing for the Royals. The Sarah Thompson comes to the plate with a 4-1 lead. Nobody out. 2 aboard here in the 4th. First pitch at the knees for strike 1. Again, we mentioned Prince George will be favored in the rest of their games. The final 10. The biggest test to be that trip to Dinwiddie the 1st of May. Dinwiddie a deep run playing this evening. Next pitch low in the dirt. It's a 1 hopper, and Hopper's able to get it. Thompson was showing bunt, pulled away. 1-1 the count. One ball, 1 strike. Showing bunt, puts it down. Henley gets it, throws back to first. Nobody at second. They could have had a double play, but they don't. As the bunt stayed in the air, Henley was able to make the catch. Would have been a surefire out at second as Quisenberry was 2/3 of the way to third base, but nobody was there. Melbrick comes running in from center field after the throw to first was not in time. Gentry throws there, not in time, and a missed opportunity. So a line out on a bunt. But Prince George none the worse for wear. And Swords to the plate here with one away in first and second. First pitch in the dirt, Hawker with a nice block to prevent runners advancing, ball one. Swords showing bunt, and then pulls away at the last second. She'll do it again. The 1-0. Tapper, foul, back here to the screen, and we're even at 1 ball and 1 strike. Next pitch, foul back to the screen. Count is 1-2. Henley ready, 1-2 pitch. High, 2 balls and 2 strikes to Swords. Wanted no part of that one. Abernathy is on deck. 4-1 Prince George. Threatening again. That was the one hopper just got way away from Henley. And it's 3-2. And we mentioned both pitchers. Grip has been an issue today. And coming into the day, we knew it would be because of the field conditions, due to the huge amount of rain we got last night. We're blessed for the fact that we're even actually able to play today. Full count to Swords. First and second, the pitch. Lined into center field. Melbourne dives and can't get to it. It'll get past her. Quisenberry will score. Rounding third into scores Thompson. Down to third place, safe. Ball gets away from Wagner, and it'll be Swords coming in to score 3 runs for the Royals. And it's 7-1, Prince George. That will be a triple to center field. Credit Melbrick for a diving stab, but just wasn't able to get to it. The problem with trying to make the spectacular catch is if you don't, it's going to roll. And roll a lot. The left fielder had to run and grab it and get it in the throw, and they did. But the throw was low, and Wagner was unable to grab it. It goes to the Lee Davis dugout fence, and of course, at that point, Swords easily scores on the error on the throw. So 3 runs in on a 2-run triple and a throwing error, which allows Swords to come home. And Prince George has a 7-1 lead here at home, making the Royal faithful very, very happy. And as we have mentioned before, on a night like this, if your team leads 7-1, you don't care about the weather. And if your team is down 7-1, it feels 20 degrees colder. And you bury into your blanket just a little bit harder. Coach Davis going in to have a talk with Henley in her infield. Outfielders having the same discussion. She's going to keep Savannah in, and should. This is the type of game Savannah's got to work through no matter what happens. A comeback win, or if they go on to lose this one, then you learn from this, because there are many who believe these two teams may meet again with a lot more on the line late next month. Check that. Abernathy at the plate, letting his son deck. 1 out, now nobody on. Time for ball 1. Alyssa Swords with the big hit. Pitch misses. 2-0 the count. Next pitch low, and it's 3-0. This is not the way you want to see Henley respond after the mound conversation from head coach Jackie Davis. And a count 3-1. That one hit in at the knees. Henley ready. Foul back to the screen, and it is a 3-2 count now on Abernathy. Whose older sister Casey is getting ready for that huge Randolph-Macon Virginia Wesleyan doubleheader in Norfolk Saturday. We will be there live for the games at 3 o'clock and 5 o'clock. Listen live on the RVA Sports Network. We will have more details on how you can join us coming up on Twitter and our websites, hopefully by no later than tomorrow. The 3-2. Runner right back to Henley. She knocks it down, has to run to get it. The throw will not be in time, and Abernathy will be gone. That'll be a hit for Caitlin Abernathy. Good job by Henley to knock it down, but it was hit well. And so it didn't die in the dirt. It had some trajectory to get back behind the circle, and Henley just did not have enough time as Abernathy's got some good wheels. And it'll be Ludding coming up down to the plate. First pitch to Brooke is the ball. She struck out last inning. She had a single her first time up this afternoon. First softball final of the afternoon just came in. Had that for you in a moment. Mr. Low is Henley in the count 2-0. Monacan has knocked off Matoaca this afternoon. Final score 2-0. So the Warriors, another team in this Region 5B, they fall to Monacan, who has their hands full with a ton of good teams there in Region 4B. Abernathy at first. The 2-0 pitch. That's in there at the letters for strike 1 to Ludding, 2-1 the count. 7-1, Prince George with the lead. Lee Davis has not helped their own cause with a bevy of throwing errors here this afternoon. Next pitch to Ludding, foul back behind us toward the tennis court, and we're even at 2-2. Dance we would update you on the Lee Davis Prince George baseball game, but baseball and softball fields here in Prince George, if you've never been here before, they are not near each other. Baseball is further down. And so we can't see the game nor the scoreboard at this particular time. We'll get you an update as soon as we can on Twitter, as soon as we have completed our game. It'll be broadcast here tonight. 2-2, foul back to the screen. We'll keep it at 2-2. With first baseman Kyle Ace on deck, should the inning continue? Well, it should. Unless there's a double play. There's one out in the inning. Had to correct myself. 7-1. Prince George striking big for 3 runs in the third, 3 runs so far here in the fourth. 2-2. Fly ball into left field. McLaughlin underneath it and will make the catch for the second out of the inning. So 2 down, runner at first, and 3 runs in. And Kyla Bates to the plate. Kyla had that ground ball to first that ended up being a play where there were 2 errors committed by Lee Davis on throws and allowed 2 runs to score. And then they go. First pitch swing and a miss, and Kyla down to the count 0-1. Again, the first of 4 straight road games for Lee Davis. That one low, check swing, throw down, trying to steal. Abernathy will be in safely with a stolen base. Caitlin puts herself into scoring position with 2 out here in the fourth. Mace with an RBI opportunity here to get another insurance run. They've got 3 of them here in the fourth so far. And now the 1-1. Swing and a miss, make it 1 ball and 2 strikes. Next pitch, tap foul to the screen. And Nate stays alive at 1 ball and 2 strikes. Kinley takes a moment, and now she's ready. The 1-2 to Kyla is low, but she swings to misses. Talker misses the ball. She's got to throw to first and does to end the inning. So 1 runner left on base. Strikeout there, but the damage done again. Another 3 on the board for Prince George. We go to the 5th inning with our score. Number 1, Prince George 7, and number 2, Lee Davis 1. We understand we're having some technical issues and some problems with, and we just took a listen to it as we can listen to our broadcast on a bit of a delay. There's some buffering going on right now, and a lot of times that is an issue of how much internet service that we are receiving. And we got 2 bars on our Verizon Jetpack, and normally 2 is plenty wherever we go, but it also depends upon location of tower and terrain and how far away we are. And that may be an issue. So fans, we apologize for that particular issue. The only problem that we have is that if we reconnected and tried again, A, it may not fix the problem, and B, we would have to bring you a completely new link to listen to the broadcast. And we don't want to try to do that. It would be very difficult to get everybody back on board on a totally different webpage. So hang in there with us, fans, and thank you for your patience. We appreciate it very much. We'll go to the 5th inning, and Lee Davis looking for something, anything positive right now. Down now by 6, 7-1, top of the 5th. Thompson ready to work. She has 7 Ks this afternoon. First pitch line in the left field. It's going to get over the head of the left fielder all the way to the wall. And McKenna will be standing in second for a stand-up leadoff double. That'll get the Lee Davis faithful up and cheering. A 1-hopper to the left field corner from McKenna Melbrick to lead off the top of the 5th. So that'll bring up McLaughlin, which, of course, we mentioned had a good day offensively against Mills Godwin last Wednesday on the game of the week. Lee Davis getting some punch from the bottom of their lineup from some new regulars, and if that can continue, that will certainly bode well for them as the regular season goes on. And they'll really need to come postseason time. First pitch, swing and a miss. Strike 1 to McLaughlin. Top of the order, Lauren Taylor on deck. Next pitch in front. Here dies. Thompson is not going to get it there in time. Melbrick to third. Runners to the corners. Nobody out. And the top of the order, Lauren Taylor coming up. Nice call there by Coach Davis, calling for the bunt. And now runners at the corners, and the leadoff hitter, junior shortstop Lauren Taylor. First pitch inside for ball 1. Ready for the 1-0 delivery. That one also low, 2-0. Lauren Taylor has scored the game's only run for Lee Davis so far, and she's walked twice today. And Thompson down the count 2-0 to the commit to Longwood University. That's a verbal, of course, as a junior. 2-0 pitch, swing and miss, and count at 2 now and 1. With McLaughlin at first and Melbrick at third. McKenna with a double, the 1-hopper to the wall in left field over the head of the left fielder. Next pitch is low, and Taylor ahead in the count. 3 balls and 1 strike. Jamie Fields did a good job. She knew that the ball was going to go over her head. She was just hoping it would hit the fence and not go over it, and it didn't. She was very quickly to get the ball back in. And Taylor looks to strike 2 on the outside corner. We're full of 3 and 2 with runners at the corners and nobody out here in top 5. Seven to 1, Prince George with the lead. Payoff pitch. Swing and a miss, and Taylor goes down the 8th strikeout of the afternoon for Laura Thompson. And there's 1 out. And the runner still at the corners for Haley Wagner. Seven to 1, Prince George the lead. Lee Davis threatening here in the 5th. Low, nice job by Swords to block that one. Ball 1. There's not a ton of room here between the plate and the backstop, but enough to tempt you to try to come home on a pitch that gets past the catcher. One to know the count. Pitch line right to the second baseman. She'll throw it back to the first for the double play. They catch McLaughlin. And that's time a fantastic defensive stop by Brooke Loving. She got the catch. Her eyes went wide open. Thought about the play at first. Fires it to Nace in time for the double play. And just like that, the Lee Davis rally is snuffed, and we go bottom 5 with Prince George having all the momentum and a 7-1 lead. The difference between winning and losing. Winners make plays like that to end threats. And when you have at least 4 by our count throwing errors in the game, especially a couple on one key play that allows 2 runs to score by the end of that play. In situations 2 innings ago where the game was so much closer, Prince George was just taking the lead after being down 1-0 early in the first inning. Can make all the difference in the world. Now, Lee Davis has got to find a defensive stop here so they can try to get something going again offensively in the 6th, crack this nut, and try to get a comeback, or they are facing their first loss of 2018. On the other hand, Prince George, who has already gotten wins over the likes of Atlee and on last Friday, Cosby, and a win at home against Dinwiddie, looking to advance to 10-0 on the season. Haley Godfrey will step into the batter's box to lead off inning number 5. She grounded out in the 2nd. She singled for an RBI in the 3rd. First pitch to her, fouled out of play behind home plate for strike 1. Swing and a miss, and Godfrey chases the off-speed 0-2 the count. No balls, 2 strikes, leadoff hitter, bottom 5, low and away, 1-2 to Haley Godfrey. Prince George here in the 5th, bringing in Godfrey, Miles, Quisenberry, 7, 8, 9 hitters in the order. The 1-2. Back to the screen off of Hawker's mask, and Logan's fine. And we'll stay at 1-2. Prince George has Hopewell here at home tomorrow, and then goes to Colonial Heights on Thursday. Lee Davis heads to Henrico tomorrow night and then heads to number 7, Hanover on Friday. Off-speed pitch gets Godfrey for strike 3. Henley with the K and 1 away here in the bottom of the 5th inning. So it'll be Aaron Miles to the plate with 1 out and nobody on. The first inning today that Lee Davis has retired the first. Royals batter. First pitch high for ball 1. Next pitch at the knees for strike 1. One pitch is a 1-hopper in the dirt. The count now 2 balls and 1 strike. Bottom of the 5th, 1 out, nobody on. Prince George leading 7-1. Tapper back to the screen. That's a foul. 2-2. Fans are still working on the technical snafu, trying to find a solution to the problem. 2-2 is going to miss outside. We go full of 3-2. With 1 out, full count, nobody on. And Henley ready to deliver. Foul back here to the screen, first base side, and Miles will stay alive at 3-2. Godfrey struck out to begin the inning. Quisenberry is on deck. Royals with 3 in the 3rd, 3 in the 4 in the 3rd, 3 in the 4th. And the 3-2. Again a foul. Fisted back here toward the Prince George dugout. Miles stays alive again with the full count of 3-2. Prince George trying to prove that they are the top team in the RVA area. They beat then number 2 Cosby last Friday. New poll came out this morning. Cosby went down 1-3. Lee Davis went up 1-2. And here they are in another 1-2 battle today. That's strike 3 called at the knees. Miles is retired. Back-to-back Ks for Henley here in the 5th. 2 out for Matty Quisenberry. Of the final 10 teams on the Prince George schedule in the regular season, currently none of those teams are ranked in our RVA Sports Network top 10 poll. First pitch down the pipe for strike 1. Henley ahead of the count 0-1, trying to have a 1-2-3 easy inning for the first time this afternoon. And get her Confederate faithful back over here to the offensive side in the dirt 1-1 with a chance to try to regroup and rally here down by 6. Prince George 9-0, Lee Davis 4-0. This is low, just below the knees, 2-1 to Quisenberry. Don't want to let her get on base, and here comes the top of the order and Laura Thompson again. Pitch misses. 3-1 to Quisenberry. And unless something really weird happens, just a complete collapse, I don't think you're going to see Coach Davis go to another pitcher this afternoon. 3-1 misses. And she strikes out the 7 and 8 hitters, but Henley walks the number 9 hitter, and here comes the top of the order with Laura Thompson and 2 out. 7-1 the score. And Prince George looking for that 10th win of the year. First pitch misses for ball 1, and for the seniors on this team, a little bit of payback. They remember well the 5A South Region Semifinal Classic. These two teams played 2 years ago, a deep run. Check swing, it's called strike 1-1 to count. The game where Prince George had the lead. Lee Davis fought back. Logan Hawker with a towering home run for the ages into the sun over the foul pole in left field. pull the string, strike two, throw trying to get Quisenberry is off the mark. Taylor's able to get it. Quisenberry is in safely with the stolen base. Count 1-2, it's 2 out. That was a tough loss for Prince George and a team that really thought it could be in the state tournament that year. They were last there in 2014. 1-2. Below the knees, 2-2 the count. So Laura Thompson and Sarah Thompson and Alyssa Swords, they were on the 8th grade back then. They all want to taste of a state tournament play and a state championship. Swinging and a miss, Thompson will go down swinging. So a walk with 3 strikeouts for Henley here in the 5th. We'll go to the 6th. Number 1, Prince George 7. Number 2, Lee Davis 1. It's the game of the week live on the RVA Sports Network.
Sheehy Ford of Ashland, with the largest inventory of Fords in the Mid-Atlantic, says fall head over deals up to 40% off MSRP or 0% financing for up to 72 months. Sheehy is proud to present its military appreciation program with savings and additional discounts for active duty, military reserve, retired military, dependent families, and now law enforcement. It's easy at Sheehy. Sheehy Ford of Ashland, Route 1 just south of Ashland. Online at sheehyfordashland.com.
West Incorporated has been serving the Richmond and surrounding areas since 1923, offering the finest in home heating oil and propane gas. They also offer professional service and installation of standby generators, tankless water heaters, gas logs, and gas for oil furnaces. Call them today for all your heating needs at 355-1721. That's 355-1721. Yes,
fans, those of you who are with us still, and we know you are, we appreciate you so much. We appreciate your patience. We know it's not the greatest signal we've ever produced here on the Game of the Week, and we apologize for that. We strive to have as little technical issues as possible, and today we're fighting them big time, unfortunately, and I believe it has everything to do with location. This is our first ever live broadcast at Prince George High School. We really thought it would do well and would be okay, but we have been struggling with signal, unfortunately. But we're still with you, and we thank you for being with us. As the first pitch is Sydney Guest to lead off the 6th inning, 7 innings for strike 1. And Laura Thompson, 6 outs away from the victory with 8 strikeouts so far this afternoon. Next pitch is high, counts even at 1-1. In the game of the week at Atley back in mid-March at the start of the season, if memory serves me correctly, Thompson registered a dozen strikeouts in that 3-0 Prince George win over Atley on the road mid-March. 1-1, foul down the third base line, and it'll drop for strike 2. Nobody able to get over there in time as it tailed quickly. Jamie Fields gave it a whirl. So 1-2. Leadoff hitter Guest trying to get a spark for Lee Davis down 6 in the 6th. Pitch. One hopper blocked by Stewart. 2-2. Lights have come on here at Prince George High School. And our game is about 6 or 7 minutes away from hitting the 2-hour mark. 2-2 down the left field line, and that's a fair ball. Gets behind Godfrey. It's a base hit for Guess. Quickly up the left fielder to grab it and throw it to left. It's second, limiting Guess to a single. But it is a leadoff single behind third base for Sydney Guest to start the top of the 6th for number 2, Lee Davis. If they have the opportunity, their best one to try to get back into this game, it's right now as the 3, 4, 5 hitters at play for Lee Davis. And now it is the number 4 hitter in the lineup, Logan Hawker. Lee Davis down by 6. First pitch at the knee is called strike 1. And Fans, next game of the week scheduled to be a week from Friday night at Lee Davis softball, live at 7 o'clock Eastern time from Mechanicsville. Here on our YouTube channel. 0-1 pitch. Tapper on a check swing. Thompson has trouble getting it. Finally does and is able to throw it to base to retire Hawker in time. It will advance the runner to second base, so effectively a fielder's choice. On the check swing from Hawker. And with one away, it brings up Jesse Gentry. Gas the runner at second. But Lee Davis needing a big inning, down by 6. 7-1 our score. First pitch fouled and out of play behind us for strike one. One ball, no strikes. Temperatures into the 50s now. Wind not as bad. A little bit of a breeze. Plenty of cloud cover. Next pitch, high heat, swing and a miss. Gentry down 0-2. Erford on deck. And just as I say something about the wind, decides to make another appearance. This time blowing onto the field from home plate. 0-2. Foul down the left field line, and that'll hook out of play. And it'll stay 0-2. To Gentry, who had 2 homers in the 14-2 win over Mills Godwin on the game of the week last Wednesday night. And fans, by the way, we are working on more game of the week broadcast, and as we get them confirmed, we'll keep them running on the broadcast schedule on the right-hand side of the page at RVASportsNetwork.com. 0-2. Low, misses, 1-2. Guess hurries back to second. We'd like to get at least another 4 or 5, maybe even a half a dozen broadcasts in the next month prior to the end of the regular season in spring sports, which is scheduled for Friday, May the 18th. Region tournaments can begin May 21st. 1-2 went for the low one, strike 3. She'll have to throw to first to make it official. And does strike out number 9 for Laura Thompson. Runner stays at second. Barefoot to the plate, but now 2 out for Lee Davis in the 6th. And they're down to 4 outs. Barefoot, the right-handed hitter. The hero of Friday night's 4-3 win against Patrick Henry. First pitch way high. Swords does a great job to rise quickly and grab it, so it doesn't go to the backstop and allow guests to move up to third. Counts 1-0. Want to know the count on Barefoot. Thompson ready? Fires. High again. 2-0. Runner at second, 2 out. Lee Davis down by 6 here in the 6th inning. Two-go pitch. Japanese for strike 1. 2-1. Barefoot struck out in the 2nd. She walked in the 4th. 2-1. Swing and a miss. It's 2-2. Thompson looking for strikeout number 10, but more importantly, just getting this third out of the inning, stranding guests at second and keeping the game at 7-1. Very loose Prince George defense, and by loose, I mean they're relaxed. So are their teammates in the dugout enjoying the 6-run advantage. The pitch, one hopper to the plate. Swords gets it without a problem, and will full at 3-2. Thompson to the rubber, and she's ready for the 3-2 pitch. It's time for ball forward. Walk number 2 for Barefoot this afternoon. And we're going to get a pinch hitter with 2 out, runners at first and second. And we'll also have a conversation for Prince George with the head coach at the circle. So a discussion in the circle. And Sydney Gentry is getting ready to pinch hit for Carly Harding. And most likely Gentry will possibly, I don't want to make an assumption, but most likely Gentry will enter the game at second base. Sydney Gentry, you'll recall, had that bases clearing double in the 6th and final inning of our game of the week against Mills Godwin when Lee Davis exploded and turned a 5-2 game into a 14-2 win. There was the 3-run double for Sydney. McKenna Melbrick with a grand slam to end it. And now Sydney Gentry, the freshman, and the younger sister of Jessie Gentry. With runners at first and second and 2 out, looking to get the base hit to keep this inning alive with Melbrick on deck. First pitch high, Swords quickly gets to it. 1-0 the count. Sydney, a good hitter for freshman. And an opportunity here in a big situation to just try to keep it going, keep their team alive. Looking for any hope at this point. Thompson trying to shut any hope down. The 1-0, high, 2-0. Thompson not quite as sharp here in the 6th inning. Last pitch of that big game against Cosby on Friday. They win that one. That was a slugfest. Cosby's in a lot of slugfests. That was Cosby's first defeat of 2018. 2-0. That's in there for strike 1. 2 balls and 1 strike. Yes, to second. Barefoot at first. And Sydney Gentry, the pinch hitter for Carly Harding here in the bottom, at the top of the 6th. 2 out. 7-1 Prince George. The pitch. Swing and a miss. 2-2. Gentry just waving the swing there, and it's 2-2 with 2 out. Thompson looking for strikeout number 10, and more importantly, out number 3. Melbrick on deck, hoping she gets a chance here this inning. The 2-2, swing and a miss, and there's strikeout number 10, and they'll leave a pair stranded. And Prince George will come to bat bottom of the 6th, continuing with the 7-1 advantage. It'll be the 2-3-4 hitters. Coming up for number 1, Prince George. Fans, busy week. We remind you, our plans are we will be live in Norfolk on Wednesday afternoon for the huge ODAC softball doubleheader between number 1 defending national champion and unbeaten. That's right, unbeaten Virginia Wesleyan at 34-0. They will be welcoming in 30-2 Randolph-Macon. It's the battle for first place in the ODAC, possibly for the number 1 seed in the ODAC tournament, which is coming up not this weekend, but next weekend down in Salem. Obviously, both teams, no matter what happens down the stretch, will get into the NCAA tournament this year. Games are at 3 o'clock and 5 o'clock on Wednesday in Norfolk. As soon as we have final broadcast plans, we will pass them along to you on Twitter at Hanover Sports, online at RVA Sports Network.com and HanoverCountySports.net. Also on our Facebook pages. You can have a like and share on Facebook. If you live in Hanover County, follow Hanover Schools. Go to Facebook.com/Hanover Sports. And the RVA Sports Network also on Facebook at Facebook.com/RVA Sports Network. We will be out most likely as well on Thursday night. We'll certainly be out rivalry night at one of the 2 games, either at Patrick Henry or Hanover on Friday. So very busy week of action coming up. And next Saturday, we'll be back at Atlee Little League scheduled to have another broadcast for you live on the radio on 102.9 The Maker. Really enjoyed having our first broadcast this past Saturday morning in the 10-year-old division. Bottom six, Sarah Thompson looks at ball one high to start this half of the frame. Finding Illini to beat the Shockers 7-0. Opening day at Atlee Little League. Next pitch high for ball two. And our plan this week, I do believe, is to have softball majors action for you as soon as we get an airtime on 102.9 FM and 14:30 AM Saturday. Strike one, we'll let you know. As we expand our game of the week sports coverage past football to other things with our friends at WHA and radio. 2-1. Grounder to third is foul. And it'll be 2 balls and 2 strikes. Harding did re-enter the game after the pinch hitting of Gentry, and she is back at second base. 2 away. 2 strikes, I should say. 2 balls, 2 strikes. McLaughlin in left. Melberg straight away in center. Guess fielding in right. Sarah Thompson ready for the 2-2 pitch from Henley. Foul. Out of play behind us. Still 2-2. Again, the rest of the week for Prince George, hosting Hopewell tomorrow night. Tomorrow at 5 p.m. Go to Colonial Heights on Thursday. 2-2. Looped into center field, just past Harding for a base hit. Leadoff single for Sarah Thompson. And that'll bring up Melissa Swords, the catcher. With nobody out here in the 6th inning. Another big inning for Prince George here, and we could be done in 6 tonight. Lee Davis goes to Henrico tomorrow night, and then they take the trip over to Hanover on Friday. First pitch misses low for ball one. Swords shows bunt like she has the last 2 at-bats, then pulls back, gets one right back to Henley, knocks it down, had trouble grabbing it, does it the last second, is able to fire it to Gentry. And the fielder's choice sends Thompson to second with 1 out for Caitlin Abernathy. A lot of shots back to both pitchers today. Thompson and Henley have been 2 of the more busy defenders on the field today. Caitlin ready, Savannah ready. And the first pitch. Right in there for strike one. Henley ahead 0-1. I hear some cheers, something happening at baseball. The size of the cheers makes me think it could be for the home team. Count is 0-1. Henley delivers. Off speed, misses outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. First Super 7 polls for lacrosse and soccer released today. In case you missed them, they're up right now at RVA Sports Network.com. 1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. Swords now down to the count of 1-2. With Thompson at second and 1 out here in the 6th. Royals looking for an insurance run, but enjoying a healthy 7-1 advantage. Pitch. Foul hits the screen in front of the Lee Davis dugout, and we're still 1-2. A little bit after 7 o'clock on this Monday evening. Temperatures won't get much better tomorrow, but we should have a beautiful day in Norfolk on Wednesday for that Yellow Jacket Marlin Odak doubleheader. Next pitch line towards short. Taylor with 1 hop grabs at the throw. Handled by Gentry. Thompson stays at second, and they're 2 away here in the 6th. Brooke Lovin coming up to the plate. Loving had a busy afternoon, single to start off the 2nd inning. She was stranded on base, struck out in the 3rd when Prince George took the lead. And then flat out during that fourth inning rally. Oh, one pitch coming. Foul. Out of play past the Prince George dugout to our right, and it's 0-2, 2 out. 8, 9, 1 hitters are scheduled for Lee Davis in the top of the seventh inning. Foul again behind the Prince George dugout and out of play, and we'll stay at 0-2 to 11. Should the inning continue, Kylan Ace is on deck. Sarah Thompson remains at second. She's singled to start the inning, advanced on the fielder's choice, and has been there since. 7-1, number 1, Prince George. Off speed, a tapper. Loving stays alive on the foul. And it's still 0-2. It's supposed to be a little bit cooler for the weekend. Temperatures mid-60s, but no sign of any precipitation, so it should be a very nice weekend out at Richmond Raceway. And for all the different action going on, especially coming up on Friday night. Swing and a miss, Loving goes down on strikes, and 1 runner is left on base. We go to inning 7, the final chance for number 2, Lee Davis, finding themselves in a 6-run hole, trying to find an answer for Lars Thompson, who has 10 strikeouts this afternoon. Number 1, Prince George 7, number 2, Lee Davis 1, back with inning 7, coming up after this, here on the RVA Sports Network.
Sheehy Ford Ashland, with the largest inventory of Fords in the Mid-Atlantic, says all head-over deals up to 40% off MSRP or 0% financing for up to 72 months. Sheehy is proud to present its Military Appreciation Program with savings and additional discounts for active duty, military reserve, retired military, dependent families, and now law enforcement. It's easy at Sheehy. Sheehy Ford of Ashland, Route 1, just south of Ashland. Online at sheehyfordashland.com.
Incorporated has been serving the Richmond and surrounding areas since 1923, offering the finest home heating oil and propane gas. They also offer professional service and installation of standby generators, tankless water heaters, gas logs, and gas oil furnaces. Call them today for all your heating needs at 355-1721. That's 355-1721.
And we bring you into the top of the 7th inning. It'll be McKenna Melbreck, the center fielder, to lead things off. Melbreck, McLaughlin, Taylor. 8, 9, 1 hitters for Lee Davis. Final opportunity for a big comeback down 7-1 here at number 1, Prince George. Thompson is ready. First pitch, outside corner for strike 1. Just thinking there during the break, fans, these two teams are going to go on completely different paths after tonight. Prince George will be halfway through their schedule. We mentioned they're going to be favored in every game coming up as they play predominantly in the Central District. Their biggest test left will be a trip to Dinwiddie May the 1st. 0-1 pitch is high for ball 1. And so for the Royals, it's going to be all about staying healthy, staying crisp, and making sure that they are playing better ball 5 weeks from now than they are right now. And it's kind of hard to do that if you have a schedule where you are going to be the predominant favorite in most of your games. Foul out of play. And the count 1-2 to Melbreck. Except for Dinwiddie, Thomas Dale, Matolica, Colonial Heights, Hopewell, Prince George will be the favorites. It's nothing against those teams. It's just that Prince George would be the favorite in each game. Melbreck goes down on strikes. Thompson with the off speed makes it 11 strikeouts here with 1 out in the 7th. So Prince George is just going to have to go out and play who they have on their schedule and get crisper and get better and be ready for the big run after May 18th. Lee Davis, on the other hand, they have a ton. They have a minefield of a schedule, and they've only played 5 games, whereas Prince George has played 10. First pitch, McLaughlin swings and misses for strike 1. So Lee Davis has to play, as we mentioned, 15 games in the next month. 15 games and 31 nights beginning tomorrow night at Henrico. 0-1 pitch. Outside corner for strike 2. And so for Lee Davis, it's staying healthy while playing 50% more games and much better competition. They still have Cosby on their schedule. They still have 2 with Hanover, 1 more with Atlee, and another with Patrick Henry. And 1 with Manchester. That's low in the dirt, 1 and 2. So a lot. Of course, there's opportunities there where Lee Davis could take a few losses, and that could affect you in terms of the region standings in the tournament bracket. But what it also does is iron sharpens iron, and playing great competition can make you a whole lot better come tournament time. But 1-2. This is outside, 2-2. The Sports set up trying to nip that outside corner and didn't get it. 2-2 to McLaughlin. Taylor on deck. 1 out in the 7th. Number 1, Prince George, looking to stay that way, up 6. 2-2. Pop up behind second. Loving is going to catch up to it and make the catch in shallow right center field for the second out of the inning. So they are 1 out away, are the Prince George Royals, from going to 10-0. And it's up to the leadoff hitter, Lauren Taylor, with 2 out, top of the order here in the 7th. She scored the lone Lee Davis run after walking the lead off the game this afternoon. Scored on an RBI hit from Logan Hawker. And that's been the only bright spot offensively today for Lee Davis. First pitch is high for ball 1. 4 in the 3rd, 3 in the 4th. That's the scoring for Prince George this afternoon. The middle innings very kind to them. They get the leadoff hitter on 5 of the 6 innings of offense. The 1-0. Foul out of play back behind the Royals dugout, and the count is even at 1-1. Haley Wagner on deck, hoping that she'll get one more crack here this evening. Again, Midlothian Atlee, Powhatan Hanover, 2 pretty big games, both called due to field conditions today. They did not play. They'll play in mid-May. Blowing outside 2-1 to Taylor. Midlothian and Atlee will be on Monday, May 14th. Powhatan at Hanover, and this is, again, from a scheduling standpoint, very important, Friday, May 18th. That will be the end of the regular season for both teams, and one or both of them could be playing for playoff position in Region 4B. Here's the 2-1. This is outside, 3-1. If Taylor walks, it'll be her 3rd free pass of the day. And Wagner hopes it happens so she can get a crack and keep hope alive. 2 out here in the 7th. Lee Davis down by 6. The 3-1, swing and a miss, and it's full at 3-2. We've had a lot of full counts today, so it's almost proper that we have one now. Baseball has completed. Don't have the final yet, but I see players. They generally don't leave before the game is over, not if they want to stay on the team. 3-2 pitch coming from Thompson to Taylor. Here it is. Pop up, infield. Thompson says, I'll take it, and the game is over. Number 1, Prince George, stays that way with authority. Final score this afternoon, number 1, Prince George 7, and number 2, Lee Davis 1. For Lee Davis, it is their first loss of the season. They go to 4-1. For Prince George, they stay unbeaten. They go to 10-0. They will host Hopewell here tomorrow afternoon and then head to Colonial Heights on Thursday. Lee Davis turns around, gets back on the bus tomorrow, heads to Henrico, and then it's another bus trip on Friday when Lee Davis goes to number 7 Hanover for another top 10 rivalry night, Hanover County softball showdown. A big win today for Prince George. Congratulations to them. Prince George won, has been number 1 in our poll all season long. They started that way thanks to all the veterans that were coming back on this team. The Thompson sisters, swords behind the plate. Several others, Brooke Flubbing, Abernathy, several others as well, and they have proved right so far, time in and time out, beating the likes of Atlee and Cosby and now Lee Davis, that they are the cream of the crop right now, certainly in Region 5B and in the Metro Richmond area. The question is now, going through the rest of the Central District schedule, where they may not be tested a whole lot for the second half of the regular season, being sharp and ready when we get to Region 5B tournament action. Past May 21st for Lee Davis, tons of opportunities to get better, but by the same token, tons of opportunities to take some more losses, and that might affect tournament seeding for them in 5B, when they now will seek revenge and try to get a rematch with Prince George at some time down the line. Region 5B tournament time begins again the week of May 21st. It's been a good one here today and a great one for Laura Thompson with 11 strikeouts and the put out to end it all. And Prince George gets the win this evening, 7-1 the final. Again, thanks to everyone here at Prince George High School for their help and hospitality this afternoon. For those of you who have stuck with us through our technical issues, we thank you for being with us, being so faithful and being so patient. Today's Game of the Week broadcast an exclusive presentation of the RVA Sports Network and solely intended for the private, non-commercial use of our audience and rebroadcast or other use of the tonight's game without the expression and consent of ACS Media LLC is strictly prohibited. Again, we'll be live at Norfolk on Wednesday afternoon at 3 o'clock for the doubleheader between unbeaten #1 Virginia Wesleyan and 2-loss #6 Randolph-Macon. As soon as we have the broadcast information, we'll pass it along to you on our website and on Twitter. Next game of the week, high school week from Friday night, April 27th. Lee Davis hosting Atlee at 7 o'clock Eastern Time. Robin saying thank you so much for being with us. #1 Prince George wins at 7-1. Good night from Prince George, Virginia.